Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Something Else to Mess With. I'm Josh.
I'm Chelle.
And I'm Alex.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. So this is different. Like, just we're recording on a Monday. I am so not used to this.
It's just 2 days difference, man.
But I'm right now. I'll be at work. Right now I'll be at. It's still going to be work. It's still the vape shop.
Yeah,
I have to get used to it. Like, I have to get used to getting out of the vape shop mindset.
Yeah, normally I'd be going to work in a couple hours, so yeah, I guess it's different.
Yeah, normally, yeah. Because when we normally finish, you're getting ready to get dressed and or do whatever and go. So, but we got Alex. Alex is finally here with us.
I'm back, mother.
It's been what, about 2 months since you were last on?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Something like that. So, but yeah,
I don't know why I censored myself though. I just realized I'm like, I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm acting like this is like.
Yeah, I mean, we're about a minute 30 in, so you're good.
All right.
So just so you ever know, we're always doing the intro at 7 seconds, but once 7 seconds hits, it can be a little bit uncensored.
Okay.
The reason why the 7 seconds is because this does go on YouTube, and YouTube will not monetize anything below 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So, because we want to we would like to get monetized, so we can have some, because we all could use the extra money.
Yeah.
The show can use that. Well, yeah, the show can use extra money because I give it to them to get some better stuff.
You got a computer.
All right. Now that we're past the 7 seconds, I can actually have somebody, my special guest star, come in and I have somebody to show us how breastfeeding works.
What? I guess.
That will be for educational purposes.
And it's an actor who plays Homelander. No.
God.
The boys. I wonder where you were going with this.
Nah, yep. That is on my list of shows to watch this week.
I'm still meandering.
I still got to start season 4, and this season 4, I'm just gonna probably just binge the hell out of.
Season 4, I feel like was definitely one of their most comical seasons. They definitely try to hit a lot of meta real world jokes, and I thought the whole season was literally hilarious.
I've heard good things about it. I've heard they took it weird and different about it, another level on things this season.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. I'm excited and kind of just like, all right, where are they going to go with this next? Like, people have said, if you thought Herogasm was something, they topped.
Oh yeah, wait until you see Web Weaver. Their version of Spider-Man is ridiculous.
Because regardless, Herogasm from season 3 was like that episode that was like,
no, I've only got to season 2.
That kind of set the bar of like, all right, I don't know how much more further can they go from this.
Oh, trust me, they could definitely go further, and with like the characters they do it with, and the supernatural crossover characters that like ones that were like supposed to be looked up to on Supernatural that are now just degenerate perverts. It is fucking hilarious. Like they go from like, oh yeah, that guy can never do any wrong to like, oh, that guy's doing that. That's fucking gross, man. Like I can't believe they would even have that actor do that. Like there's gonna be some shit that you're gonna see. I thought they were gonna try to tone it down with the pervert stuff after Herogasm, but they just were like, fuck it, it's hilarious.
Apparently,
and they just went way deeper.
They went all the way. Because we got season 5 and that's it. I guess they're doing that. But then you heard about they're doing the spinoff of Soldier Boy and somebody else.
Yeah, which is going to be Jensen Ackles' show. He's
Yes.
getting his own spinoff from The Boys.
Oh wow.
I'm excited for
That one's going to be intense. Especially it's going to be them during their glory days when they were like supposed to be the most badass heroes.
Yeah.
So they're just going to go around just absolutely fucking people up. Like when they had no rules at all. Like when probably even harder than fucking Homelander.
Oh, probably.
That's what I feel it's going to be. Because I heard that there's going to be 2 different spin-offs. One they're trying to plan for Homelander, which hasn't been announced yet, but it's just something that I heard was planned. That was just a rumor. But I honestly think that one's going to be more of a redemption arc to show how much pain he went through when he was younger. Because that seems like where they're going with this character. They're trying to show you that he went through a lot of fucked up things, and that's why he is the way he is.
I mean, we got that in season 3. Like they were kind of introducing that story arc with him, where he's like,
yeah, and they did
he's
it more
been
in
through
season
fucked
4
up shit,
too.
and it's like, I'm starting to kind of feel bad for him now. Like it's like, how can like they're doing it, but because Homelander is a piece of shit.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
No, he's a fucking piece of shit.
But yeah, I think in that spinoff of Homelander, I think that's going to be his redemption one. But then the one for Jensen Ackles of Soldier Boy and Stormfront, I think he's going to be like the Captain America who doesn't give a shit, and she's going to be like their Superman or Shazam type character who's just going to bust through walls, fucking throw tanks. She's just going to be fucking smash down villages. Just absolutely fucking stomp on shit. I think she's gonna be fucking, even though she's also a piece of shit, like technically their characters aren't supposed to be the best people. I think they're gonna kick ass. They're gonna fucking, especially because they can be more violent than good guys. Like they can do things that good guys can't even try to do because they're way too good.
But yeah, I saw that. I was all right. I'm definitely gonna watch that. Like I'm all for anything Soldier Boy. Yeah, I'm kind. Yeah. Now, isn't Soldier Boy is Homelander's dad, right?
He was made from his DNA.
Okay.
But they never said who the mom was. They said that the mom just died. But there's a fan theory that I heard that they think that Stormfront is the mom.
That is the mom.
And I think that would be hilarious because that means that Homelander fucked his own mom.
Yeah.
That means that he's a motherfucker again because he was fucking Madam Miss Stillwell in the first season, and that was pretty much like his mom. Now this lady is literally his mom. He is literally a motherfucker.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of want them to go through with that.
Yeah, and it would make sense. Like,
it makes sense that they would. Like, all right, yeah, let's go with that. Like that just seemed that the cherry on top right there.
And it would make sense how he could fly and everything because she's the only other character that can really fly. So that's how he'd get his power of flight, of being able to like shoot lasers out of his eyes because her power was energy projection. Now he can also shoot energy too. So it would just make a lot of sense to me.
So, but yeah, I can't wait to talk season 4 once I get done watching it. Well, Chelle needs to watch it too.
Chelle needs to catch up on a fuck ton. So,
what episode of season 2 is she on?
Like 5 or 6.
Nah, we're like almost done with it because there's only 8 episodes.
Yeah,
we're on like I want to say 7.
Okay, so
I could be wrong. But I don't know if you remember the season finale for the second season, but honestly, that was one of my favorite season finales. Just that team up that they do. We can't talk too much about it because Chelle hasn't seen it yet. But the team up between the characters is just so unexpected, but so cool.
Yep. So,
are you talking about the
when they kick the shit out of that girl because they all team up and like it does at first it seems like they've lost because she blows up everything. It seems like they're completely fucked. And then all of a sudden Queen Maeve comes out of nowhere and then they all just start fucking kicking ass together.
Oh yeah. Because
Yeah.
isn't that Storm?
No, it was
I'm trying-
Queen Maeve starts kicking the shit out of Stormfront because
That's
she was
what I'm
supposed to be
saying, like,
retired, but then she
that's
comes out of
when-
retirement just to kick her ass.
That's when Stormfront showed up, was in the season finale, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, I think it's been a couple years since I've seen 1 and 2. So
Oh yeah, I just remember it so vividly because not only is my dad watching it, I'm rewatching it with Chelle too. So I just am always watching the boys.
It's fresh to you, and I'm over here like, you gotta remind me of what happened.
You were like, who did what?
Because I'm like, because you gotta think about it. I binge them, so I'm like, I'm getting watching them all, and it's like, try and remember like 1 or 2 nights out of the last 3 years. Is like, so.
All right, so we don't get into any spoilers for that show. I feel like we should switch top.
Right, so
just because I haven't seen that much.
So let's kind of dive into. Chelle, do you want to bring up anything?
Deadboy Detectives.
Okay. Okay.
The one I've been waiting for.
Yes, I know.
She's wild.
All right, so I literally just got done with it
Finally.
right before we recorded. So everything, like,
Round of applause for
I started it 2 nights ago.
Round of applause for Josh.
I got through 2 episodes last night, and then I finished the last 2 this afternoon.
I'm fucking proud of you, Josh.
I told you I would. I told you, I'm like, before we do the podcast, I will make sure I watch it, and I
I'm
did.
proud of you, man. Proud of you, man.
And I told Jess, it's like, why are you watching this? I'm like, because I gotta kind of go over this on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like,
Is
okay.
it a one-of-a-kind show, though?
It was, yes, I will say, like, it kept me going. Like, it kept me like, all right, I want to continue watching. I just kind of want to continue watching and see where this goes.
He said, why are you watching this?
Well, no, she didn't say, well, she's just like, what are you watching? Like,
Yeah.
like what? This type of thing.
You have
And
to
then-
watch it to understand.
Yeah, no, and if you just come in and you see small parts, like if you just see like you walk in on the Cat King and you don't know what show it is, you're like, you're just like, yeah, what is this gay cat dude talking about?
That was earlier, when it goes into the cartoons.
What part did she watch in on?
Well, she kind of has been watching it off and on with me throughout. So you know the part where they're telling like Lois like Esther's backstory and it's all cartoony and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So she's down on her phone doing whatever. She looks up and she sees the cartoon. She's like, "Now what are you watching?" And I'm like, "The same show." She's like, "Why is it a cartoon? Why is it animated?" I'm like, she's like, "Is this live action?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's live action. We're just going like." She has no idea what the hell's going on.
It's Deadboy Detectives. You gotta pay attention.
But yeah, I thought season 1 progressed really well. Like it didn't get too repetitive at all. You got some story, you got a little bit of story arc kind of building, but then they're like, all right, not yet. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do spoilers.
You want to do spoilers?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we should. I think if we've all seen it, we could definitely do spoilers.
So spoilers alert.
The show's my shit. Spoilers all the way.
So this is your warning now. We're gonna go ahead and fully dive into season 1. So
Spoiler alert.
it was interesting. It was okay. So the boy's backstory is interesting.
Very.
Especially Edwin's coming from hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his friends did it accidentally on a prank.
Yes.
And they all got themselves killed too.
Because you saw, like, as you know, later on in the season, I think it was episode 7. Edwin stumbles across that boy that wasn't on a prank down there in hell.
Yeah.
So, and then he's like, because his torment was literally flipping through, like tearing pages from that book, and that whenever he got low, the book would just replenish, and
Yeah.
That's why his hands were like bleeding. That's where it was like there's blood everywhere because he's literally turning himself down to the bone.
Yeah. It was intense.
Where do you guys want to start with this? Like,
my favorite thing about the show, I really like the fact that they always had the thing to beat any villain, but they could never find it because the backpack was so endless. Yeah. It's an endless backpack, but so it's impossible to find things because it has so much space in it. Yeah. So it's impossible. It's like the ultimate, like, where are my keys? Or like one of those kind of jokes, like, where's this thing that I have this whole time? Like, they're like, oh yeah, I got the sword to beat him, but I can't find the sword. Or like, oh, I left it at the house. Like, you could put anything in the backpack. You could fit literally anything in there. How could you leave it at the house?
No, it's always something useless. Remember, it would always be something like useless.
I mean,
no, I normally will at some point find what they need in there, but normally it's just a joke of, oh, I left at the house, or like I can't find it.
They would always have to go back for a book.
Yeah.
They would always have to go like use the mirror and go back to London and grab a book and then do that. So
yeah, so it's more of a gag on that's the best weapon ever, but you can't use it because it's so endless. That is to me one of the funniest jokes ever, to always be able to win any situation but not be able to do it because you're pretty much incompetent. You're too dumb to remember what you need to know where it's at. You're just incompetent, so you can't do it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I love that when they were doing the possession ceremony, that you think that when they expel, it's going to be like a typical exorcism. No, it was the two spirits in the jar.
Yeah.
When the two sprites come out.
The sprites.
And it's all colorful, and you're like, what the fuck? That's not demons. Like, it's these little two people, and they love to talk shit.
Oh, they loved it. And
I was not expecting.
They were great. They were great.
No.
Comedic.
Yeah.
Relief. That's what they were. They were comedic relief because some episodes get fucking serious.
They do. That's funny. They do get very serious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, since it's fresh in all our minds, the very end of season 1.
Oh, yeah.
Is Nico a spirit? Or
she's in the spirit realm, but her body still not, it just has a small hole in it. So I think her soul's going to get sent back to her body, and she's going to wake up in Japan because her body got sent back to Japan. So she's going to wake up in Japan where her body is.
Okay.
But how did you interpret the ending, Josh?
Like the end? Like when they're in the igloo?
We saw it differently. Did you see who she was sitting with?
The sprites.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, is she a sprite at this point because of how small they are? And obviously we kind of know it's Nico because of was it a walrus that Walrus Man gave her?
Yeah. It was some kind of charm.
So that's how I'm like, oh, it's gotta be Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was because when that happened, I was waiting for her to kind of just like how they all do, like they'll turn around and they'll see their dead body and then they're a spirit, and then either they run or they wait for death.
And I like how they kept on foreshadowing it like 3 times before it happened. First, the ghost bomb thing blows up and it fucks up the whole place. But since it was meant to only mess with ghosts, it doesn't kill anybody. It just makes the thing fall on top of her. And she was like, oh, I thought I was dead. And then they go to the place talk to the guy there, and he literally already knows that she's going to need the charm to bring herself back. So he gives her the charm. And she goes, I'm going to do this mission even if I die horrifically. And then later on dies horrifically.
Yeah.
Like, he literally calls out that she's going to die horrifically. Like, the writers were definitely just making fun of the fact that they were going to kill her off in that episode, which is hilarious to me.
So I know you've been bringing her up a lot, the night nurse.
Yeah. And it's it's a part we haven't seen before. You know, we call her Rowena because of Supernatural. And one of my favorite parts of the show, in the end, is when the lady, I don't know her name.
Nobody knows her name. I know who you're talking about, that when that other one came down and senses her to...
Yeah, and they were basically, Rowena, you know, not her name, but she was basically like, hey.
I believe it's Ruth Connell is her name.
Well, yeah, I know, I mean on the show.
I think they just refer to her as night nurse.
Night nurse. She was like, yeah, the boys have been doing this. They need to go back to their respective places. You know, they need to go to hell, whatever, whatever. And, well, actually, Dave saw more cases than anybody, than you.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys work together? And then I was saying at the end, she acted like a, 2-year-old.
Yeah, she was throwing a temper.
She literally says to them, and Deadboy Detectives is a stupid name, like a little child. I was like, no, she didn't. She went from like the mother figure who was like very bossy, like you're like, oh yeah, she gives off like the mother vibe or whatever, and then she just walks away like a small child. I'm like, the roles have completely switched. Because Edwin was so mature about it. He was just like, welcome to the thing. We'll look at you as the boss, blah, blah, blah. And then she still was like, no, there's no way. I don't like this.
Yep.
So I wonder what they're going to do with season 2 now. You know.
Do they have a date for season 2 yet?
No, I don't think so.
And what about Lilith? We didn't even see Lilith get that intense in Supernatural. And the way that she called on Lilith to get back on the witch.
That was really good writing.
That was a good one.
She went to the person above her. Because pretty much the whole time, the witch was acting like she was some kind of god or goddess. Like she had all the ultimate power. But everything that she got power from was other sources. She didn't have any actual power herself. She was just a regular fucking witch. She was just boosting herself up like it was magic steroids almost. Once you took those things away from her, she was just like a regular fucking stupid bitch. She just couldn't do much.
Yeah, because as soon as she reverted back to the, her true...
Her old lady form.
How fast
she was just super weak. Like, you could tell she was weak.
And I love
she wasn't strong at all. Like, she didn't have that power that she had. And that's like, yep.
And I love how Alex said that they gave her the demon voice. And I loved how quick the progression was. They did that quick. And Lilith was there like what? Almost instantly?
Yeah.
She showed up in physical form. I was like, damn, that's intense. Dragged her off. We don't even, where she drag her? Hell? Is that where she took her? We don't even know.
Well, doesn't Lilith belong in the sea?
She owns. I know she owns like
because Walrus Man. I don't know his name. I just call him Walrus Man.
Yeah.
Walrus Man. Because he talked about Lilith earlier in the season.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think we've seen the last of Lilith though.
On this show, it does seem like she's kind of like Poseidon, but like blood Poseidon. Because they also did that scene where like it was like all blood. Like when Crystal Palace brought her to that place, it was literally all filled with blood. I don't know what that was about, but the original scene was just when they did it in cartoons, it was regular water. But when they did it in the other scene, it was blood. So I don't know if she's like the goddess of blood or if she's their version of like Poseidon, so she rules the ocean. But she definitely has some kind of control over power over water. And I guess she can charge people up and make them extra strong.
Well, wait, wasn't Lilith the one that turned Walrus Man into man?
Yeah, because he said that he wanted to go back to the land.
Yeah. Because I just thought I just thought about that. I was like, wait, I thought Lilith was the one that.
But my theory for next season is that the witch is either going to come back and she's going to kill Lilith for her power, which that would be fucking just super intense, and that witch will automatically kind of be higher than the one on Supernatural, Rowena, because she's killed an actual goddess at that point. Like, killing a god is higher than like being the devil, I guess. I don't really know, but I feel like she'll just be stronger. Or Lilith is going to come back and just be like the new big villain for like later on in the show.
Yeah.
But there's no way that storyline's done. Like, they're just going to be like, not going to talk about either of those characters ever again. Like, that would just be fucking. I wouldn't even know what they would talk about. Like, it would just throw me off.
I mean, season 2, it's either going to go back to that or they're going to introduce something new.
Yeah, but I feel like giving shows too many characters that are like new like that, it throws people off of the storyline. Like, they could do something completely new, and I know they have their own comic book, so they have a bunch of stories already planned out.
Yeah.
So you never know. They could just have a bunch of that. Could have honestly been a small story in their story arc, and there's probably way better ones. I honestly don't know. I think that's also why they did it, because this is not something that everybody knows. Like Superman or like all the other DC characters, these ones nobody really knows, so they don't really know how it's going to end or how it's going to go.
That's where I'm kind of like, season 2, I don't really know what to expect from it. Like, storyline wise, we might dive more into Crystal.
Yeah.
That's where I'm thinking. That's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Definitely curious in more of the cases they're going to be working on.
Yeah, now Night Nurse has to work with. I hope we learn more about her too.
I think we will. I think season 2 they might be able to establish some of the characters a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, they might bring in a new baddie.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if they want to leave the Lilith and Esther thing alone for the season, bring in a new, like how they're doing Supernatural. Like, every season, like probably between I think season like 7 and 8, there was always like kind of a new baddie for that season. Like, you had Leviathans, and then you had
which was such a good actor.
I feel like they could do that kind of thing, but I feel like even in Supernatural, they sort of always had that. Even when they like would go to the episodes when they go back in time, it would go deeper into that storyline of how Sam originally got cursed by the yellow-eyed demon.
I mean,
you find out that there's more yellow-eyed demons later on too. So the yellow-eyed demons are still like
that was always the main story arc to Supernatural, and the beginning was, you know, find out what happened, like why this happened to Sam. Just find out why, and you know, season two, you really dive into Yellow Eyes, and then season 3 and 4, more demons get introduced, more angels get introduced. You get introduced to Castiel, and then later on seasons you get introduced to Crowley, and then Rowena, and then so like as the seasons progress, like they were able to introduce new bad people, new characters.
And I want to know why she doesn't have a coven like other witches. Why she's a single witch, like because there's gotta be other witches that have tried to do the same kind of evil things. There should be. I want to see like either a flashback or something that shows just something explaining her why no other witches even fuck with her just because she's that evil. Or did she kill all those witches so that makes her the strongest witch in this universe?
That's a good question.
Because there's gotta be other witches, especially this is connecting to DC and just other things. They can make up their own villains for the show.
I mean, as far as we know, they kind of tapped into that story when they went to the cartoon form of how Esther became Esther.
Yeah.
Because she came in as a pilgrim.
Yeah.
Her husband cheated on them. But then it goes into her mom.
But she's on the book from her mom, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, so now they can incorporate her backstory of her mother and all of that if they want to.
Yeah, but they skipped so much stuff. They just said, so years passed by, and then they just made it so she was an old lady, and then she goes to the sea. I was like, so did she join a coven? What happened in those years? I'm like, she was doing the most wild magic in the universe, just out there fucking going Scarlet Witch, and you're not going to tell me about any of that? Like, you got to explain these Scarlet Witch years, family. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's yeah. So I mean, do they need to devote the whole entire season to that? No, like maybe an episode.
No,
or
they
two.
could literally kill her off at the beginning.
They could do like an episode.
I need to see her come
on
back so I
that.
her story can get finished. That wasn't, to me, that's not a finish for a story arc for somebody. No. In my mind, until the person really dies, or they didn't even show her go to anywhere. She just got dragged out of a door. That's not an ending at all. Like, if she went and we seen her go get pulled to the water, I've been like, oh, she going to water hell. I don't know how water hell looks, but she going to water hell. I would have got that.
Yeah, she was out the door.
Yeah. I mean, there's just season 1 leaves you for season 2. I will say it that way.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to.
Wait, can I finish my last thing about the show?
Yeah, go ahead. I thought you were done.
All right, my last thing, because we started off talking about the weapons and we've gone to all the other things, but
yeah,
I already said I like the backpack. I really like the paddle that he had.
The cricket bat.
It really didn't do much. He would just pull it out all the time, and like he would just say like really badass things. He'd be like, "It's go time, mate," or like whatever. He'd say his little catchphrase, and then he'd just get fucked up like immediately, even by like that Ghost and the Devil in House that was on the repeat, that really fucked up episode. He literally goes up, just gets snuffed by that ghost dude immediately. I'm like, so what does the paddle even do? And he only uses it one time ever, and he does something actually super badass. I was like, I didn't even think it was going to do all that. He throws it, boomerang, destroys all the ghost demon mirrors, and then just catches it Captain America style, like it was his fucking shield. I was like, that weapon seems like it does everything. Like, apparently it is fucking badass. And then it breaks the fucking season finale. Like, no, it's not.
When he's fighting the snake and all of a sudden...
Yeah, you're just like, I don't know if that's the best weapon in the world or if that weapon sucks. I don't know what that weapon is, but it was cool for a second. Like, it did everything for me, if you ask me. It was a shield. It was a boomerang. It was a fucking paddle to beat people with. It was just did everything. It was comic relief. I was like, this is like the best fucking weapon in the world.
All right, so I have 2 questions, and I didn't pay. Probably the parts where Don was keeping me busy.
Yeah.
What did the black salt do?
Black salt kills just regular witches, but I don't think it would have killed her just because how strong she was.
Like, where did they use the black salt at all?
No, they didn't even get a chance to explain exactly what. No, they did. They did hit her with the black salt. We just watched it, and that's how I remember. They hit her with the black salt, and she they did a Wizard of Oz thing of her going, "I'm melting," and it kind of burnt her face, but then she just healed from it.
Okay.
But I think that was before the snake got killed. Because she was still young. Yeah, she was still young when that happened. So she was juiced up by the snake and by Lilith.
Where did he get the sword from? The backpack?
Yeah.
And was it
because the paddle got broken, then he pulled the sword out.
Was it just a normal sword?
I'm assuming all their weapons are magic. Everything that they've pulled from the backpack has been a magic this or that. Okay. Nothing that they've pulled out has just been something regular from what I've seen. To me, that's just like it's like the door and the Explorer backpack, but everything's magic.
Those are the only 2 questions I have because I was like, I didn't see the result of what happened. Yeah. Like, I think that's when I was like, either Dom was keeping my attention or something. I don't know.
But yeah, and then he has. But so the sword doesn't get broken. He still has the badass sword. So happy about that. And the last weapon I want to talk about is the magic whip leash thing. When he hits the cat with the little magic leash,
Yeah,
that was the funniest thing ever. I was like, this guy has a Wonder Woman fucking whip. Like it was just a super bitch because normally you always see a woman with it, and you just see the fucking gay British dude like, got you. I'm like, damn, he's out here doing his thing.
Chelle, you want to add anything?
Oh,
All right, yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about that. Just that whip. It's not the strongest weapon, but that, like I said, it was almost like the paddle. It did everything it needed to do. It captured the cat it needed to capture. It was comic relief. It just looked cool because it was a nice golden color, and it just gave you that very magical effect of like, oh, this is sorcery. It was just a nice touch in the show.
I just liked at the end when they said the 147 cats. He was like, no, 147. She's like, no, including
147, including you. And
I
then
did that moment.
Cat King kind of just smirked and off you went.
I like that moment they had.
Yep. Call back to the first episode, I think.
You know, like, you matter too.
Was that the first episode when he got binded?
Yeah, I think it was.
I couldn't tell you because the only one that we rewatched was the season finale, just to get ready to talk about this. But that was a while when we actually watched the other ones.
I want to say I think it was episode 1 was when Cat King, because it was his punishment for binding the cat.
Yeah. So it was definitely early on the show because the Cat King gets introduced by like the second or third episode.
Oh, fun fact about the Cat King. So I looked him up on his Instagram. Around the same time, he adopted a dog. He's an animal lover in general.
I think he does have cats here. I think he has like a bunch of animals or something.
A bunch of animals, but he posted a picture on Instagram of him with the dog he had newly adopted. It was just funny. Beautiful dog, but yeah, it was just funny. But yeah,
I wasn't at first. I wasn't sure about the Cat King character, and then all right, he kind of grows on you.
I love his character. He's fucking hilarious.
My favorite part is when he's talking about Edwin, and he's saying like he's just like the only reason I'm doing this is because of that little cocky British tease or whatever he says. I'm like, the fuck? He's like trying to go way too hard for this fucking guy. Like you literally, and this is right after he just got fucking killed for him. So literally, he's like, I will die for this fucking British kid.
A life for this guy. You only get 9.
Yeah, which is I just think because like. A lot of people will say, like, oh, I would die for him. I'm like, we literally seen him die for him. And he's like, I can't give up this little British tease. I'm like, I guess.
I love the dry humor in it, like, but it's like not too dry. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Once I seen the backpack part, and then I seen the part when they go to the shop to see the walrus guy. They get the perfect magic thing. They catch the sprites and get the sprites out.
Yeah.
And when they're going to the place to get the extra thing, they like fuck it up and they drop whatever they need. And they're like, oh, that can't be that bad. It probably won't even do anything. Then you see a bunch of fucking skeletons come out of the ground and shit. And then they're just like, oh, fuck, we gotta get out of here. And I'm like, don't even explain that. They just leave that in that universe. Like, who knows what those skeletons are doing?
Yeah.
15 minutes into the show, I'm like, both Alex and Josh will like this show. I'm like, it's also part of the Sandman universe, but I couldn't get into that.
Yeah, I even tried to mess with Sandman. It's just, I wouldn't even say it's really in a superhero or any kind of realm. It's just like really, it's one of those shows that unless you like really dark things, then it's going to be hard to get into. And it's really slow pace, so you're going to have to like really fucking try hard to get through it. Like, my ADHD wouldn't even let me fucking try it.
Yeah. Is that on Netflix as well?
Yeah.
Lock and Key is another good one too.
Oh yeah, Lock and Key is actually pretty good.
Lock and Key. Okay. I think you're one. I think you're one. Yeah.
Yeah, Lock and Key will fuck with you. Lock and Key. There'll be some things that you've been like, I don't even know what universe I'm in anymore.
Oh yeah, you got to be really high for that one.
And little boy is gonna give you anxiety the whole time because at first I'd like when you're like, oh, it's about a family. Like that was throwing me off because I thought it was gonna be very like, oh, there's a small child, so they're gonna try to not do many violent things. But there's some wild, violent type things, and there's some like, little boy just doesn't believe in consequences. So every 2 seconds, he's like trying to talk to a ghost or like trying to fucking jump in a mirror. He's trying to fucking go into a different realm. Yeah, he's trying to do something wild. He's trying to like fucking literally turn to a ghost. He's just doing crazy things. He just like thinks because he's at the age where, like when you're really young, you don't believe in consequences. You're just like, I want to be like a superhero. Like he's like, what do these magic keys do? They give you superpowers. Let's see the superpowers. Like everybody else that knows about the keys, they're like, oh shit, we shouldn't even be using these. These could have consequences. He's like, yo, I want all the powers. He's trying to collect the keys like Infinity Stones. He's a fucking madman. And he's mad young, so you're like, yo, you should not even be touching these, bro. These are literally messing with other realms and everything, and he's just out here trying to fucking mess with other realms and crazy shit. And he obviously doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. It's not like he's like young Doctor Strange.
Yeah, talking to evil chicks and wells, trying to walk, walking through mirrors, putting keys in. Putting doors and keys, putting keys and doors that he shouldn't be, like just doing magic he shouldn't be. Really good show though.
And one thing that you should know about the show before you start watching it is that the keys, they don't need to be the actual doors, which I thought like that, but you can open up people's fucking like faces and like like whatever the key says, it kind of opens up. Like if it says like a wall key, it'll like change the wall to do something. If it's a mirror key, it will open up a mirror and it will make it so a perfect lock will show up, like a perfect lock hole, so it can open up whatever the thing is. So it doesn't need to have any kind of thing already. It will automatically make it itself because it's magic.
Yeah, it's wild.
Okay, I have to check this out.
Yeah, but it's literally like if you get them all, you're pretty much like Thanos. But there's even more keys than there are Infinity Stones. And they control other realms and shit. So you might even be stronger than Thanos if you have all the fucking keys. Because you can do like fucking anything. Like it'll be like air key. Like fucking now I control air. Like I control fucking everything. Like it's like insane.
Yeah, you'll literally be stronger than Thanos. It's bad.
Like in this universe, I already know the strongest character is the janitor because he's got all the keys.
All the keys. Yeah.
Like, he just comes through. He's just like, I've got the key for everything.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, Jess will be like, especially the part where you literally see somebody stick a key in the back of somebody's head. Jess might trip the fuck out. I'm warning you right now. There's some intense parts of the show. Jess might trip the fuck out. I'm just warning you. She'll be like, what are you watching? You'll be like, yo, I don't know.
Like unlock your memories and show you like your past and like your greatest moments.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's a good show.
But we shouldn't talk too much about that. If you're going to watch it, I don't want to spoil anything for it. We're already getting too deep into it.
But it's just one of those shows where you really have to pay attention. It's lit, though. There are lit moments. Just know that. But the kid doesn't believe in consequences. This is true.
Speaking of consequences. Let's talk about Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom.
Oh, jeez.
And everything that is going on with Marvel.
Okay.
I'm excited for it, but I kind of wanted to. I know that it's stupid to play the same character forever, but I feel like his Iron Man was just so good that I just still wanted more of that. Like, I know that it was literally 10, 11 years. I don't care about that. I wanted like 50 years of that, if that makes sense. Like, you could have did like 50 years of that, and then like died, and they could have did like AI of him, Doctor Doom, after. But I just wanted more of that.
Well, keep in mind, as far as I know, he's not playing Victor Von Doom. He's not.
I think he is.
He's playing Tony Stark.
What?
I love this reaction. Right? Can we clip
Think
this?
about this for a second.
Can we clip this?
We're in the multiverse section now of MCU. This is a different Tony Stark.
Wait, did you see the Comic-Con reveal?
Yeah.
No, but he literally takes off the mask, and he's literally wearing the Doctor Doom mask. I'd be like, why would he be wearing the Doctor Doom mask? And then they go, nah, he's not Doctor Doom. I mean, like, then what was that panel even about?
This reaction.
I'm literally so confused. I'm like, I'm in the multiverse. Fuck them being in the multiverse. I'm like, I'm there myself.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but this is how I imagine this happening is that it is Tony Stark from a different multiverse.
Are you saying it's going to be Tony Stark versus Tony Stark? I mean, like, it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. playing two parts to fight himself?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I have a feeling
they double up on the fucking Robert Downey
Tony
Jr.
Stark from a different multiverse coming
especially
in as Doctor Doom.
And if it's the one that everybody was talking about, the fucking Superior Iron Man or whatever, like the one with the special suits, and like he's supposed to have like the best Iron Man gadgets, that'll be intense as fuck.
We need to clip him. It's too good.
That would definitely be a good one.
We
already know that people love seeing people battle them own selves just from like the Homelander and the boys, like him, this conflict between himself, just like people just anytime they do those kind of storylines, I feel like they always come out good. Yeah. I feel like it's going to definitely be very interesting.
Because
some surprise.
Well, it's different.
It's just something I didn't even think of. I was also like,
it's different because we always
the way they made it sound was like that was impossible.
Because whenever we see Doctor Doom, we know that Doctor Doom is Victor Von Doom. That's Doctor Doom. But if they're going to go this route of the multiverse and somehow, some way, this Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom and he comes over into the multiverse of the actual Avengers, you know, the you get which version I'm talking about, the Avengers, but
you are definitely right about this from what I'm feeling now, because I wasn't even thinking about that. If they are having Doctor Doom, you have to have Iron Man. Those two characters like pretty much almost go hand in hand. Like they are the reverse of each other almost. Like even when I was watching all the villains for the Iron Man movies, not seeing Doctor Doom in like one of those movies just felt so weird. Like the third Iron Man movie, they just did like a weird fake version of the Mandarin, which was nothing like the one from the comic books. So don't get me wrong, Iron Man 3 was probably my favorite Iron Man movie. Just because it had like a billion different suits with different functions. And I thought that was really cool that because it took so much time to think about all the different suits and how they would work in that big fight scene. They had all the fireworks go off and stuff. So that one was probably my favorite one of those, but it wasn't really the one from comic books.
So, yeah, because I had to sit back and think for a second, because when they announced that, you know, it was Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom, and I'm like, they're really like, because I was very confused. I'm like, so you're having an established character like Tony Stark that's played by him, then you have this person that's supposed to be different playing by the same actor playing Doctor Doom, and he becomes Victor Von Doom. Like I was like, make this make sense. And then I kind of started thinking, people kind of started talking, and I kind of started putting pieces together. I'm like,
Happy 420.
Happy
It
420.
It is 420 our time. Let's go.
Sorry.
And that's where I kind of started thinking. I'm like, well, what they're doing the multiverse, there could be a universe that Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom. It very well could that it very well could be a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, all right, let's see where the but we
Oh,
don't.
you think that he's literally gonna become Doctor Doom? Tony Stark himself.
Yes.
Oh no, I think it would have been better if one from each universe, like if one was there was a good guy Iron Man and a bad guy Iron Man, I'd want to see that. So they just because Robert Downey Jr., we know he's a good actor. To just see him play both the good guy, one that's like more self-righteous, and then the other one that's evil. I'd love to see him just have to go back and forth with himself.
Now that's, I mean, I've only known Tony Stark as Iron Man. So if they do go that route of where,
But then I feel like, but Doom is literally from his name, and that's why I don't think that they would do that. They'd have to give they'd have to give Iron Man a weird, different backstory where he would have to get the name Doom somehow now. Or instead of like one of his parents hooking up who they hooked up with, they'd have to hook up with somebody from the Doom family. From the Von
that's
Doom
what I'm saying. Like we don't know exactly what this is. Like all we see is Robert Downey Jr. in the Doctor Doom outfit with the mask and everything. That's all we know. So it's like, is he playing the version of Tony Stark that becomes Doctor Doom? Is he playing Victor Von Doom? Like, what is the whole thing on this? And we'll find out when Avengers Doomsday comes out. We'll get more information about it. We'll probably get information when we see the trailer, because they haven't released the trailer for it yet. So once they release the trailer, they might give a little bit of insight how this all comes about.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna, like, I could just see him, like, if he takes that mask off and they're in the Infinity War, that universe of Avengers, they're gonna think it's Tony.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it is still kind of dumb that the entire Kang dynasty is pretty much dead. Like, I think they should have just replaced the actor. Like, if the actor can't be used, then whatever. Especially it's a whole multiverse thing. I feel like they easily could have fixed that with the whole multiverse theory. Now that entire, like, all those people that like had the idea for that for years, all those people just have to like fucking make up a whole new storyline. Like, and Kang later on, like, I feel like he had to be used kind of early, because later on I feel like there's just better villains and more known villains. Kang the Conqueror is like one of those people you have to like kind of really know about comic books to even know. Like, I feel like he has to be used before.
I mean, as far as I know,
too late on, he's gonna not seem important. Like, he can't be used after Galactus. I'm like, Galactus is literally the person that Stan Lee himself is the strongest in all of comic books. So, like, when it comes to anybody, so I'm like, if they're gonna put him after Galactus, it will just seem insane.
Because after Doomsday, we got Secret Wars coming.
Yeah.
So Secret Wars is going to be coming. They kind of announced Galactus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
so Galactus
Kang the Conqueror as a main villain will come after that.
Yeah. So Galactus, I think, is coming now.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for. I'm all for this.
Yeah.
So what's everybody smoking on today? So I got a new device. I got the Luca Turtle.
The turtle.
No.
Turtle.
Wrong testing. I will say that my cart hasn't broken. I am smoking on the live resin. What is this shit? Diesel Durban. Silver Turtle.
What is it? A hybrid? Is that between sour diesel and Durban poison?
Okay, Mr. Professional. Actually, it's a sativa,
Okay.
but close. So the thing about this is when it falls, it bounces. But the problem is this part pops apart and the cart still hits the floor, which makes me extremely nervous. But versus if the snail went flying, I got the blur setting on, so don't mind this. But this is ice cream cookies
Okay.
by Ozone, which is an indica, 87%. The live resin sativa, just to prove to you, it says sativa.
I love how you call me professional.
You are a professional. I call you professional, but you are a professional.
Because I kind of know strands.
But yes, you are a professional pothead.
Well, that's just an inside joke that we sort of have going.
Professional pothead.
80%.
I'm on BBD, BPD.
And this is my, I'm still working on save for
Oh,
before, but you're not tripping, it's blurry.
You got any CB?
DB.
Yeah, I'm that too.
Did we tell you?
This is a live rosin.
Tell you the story about the cop in a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna finish the smoking section.
Smoking section. Josh, remind me in a minute to tell you the story about the beach cop.
The beach cop.
We had another one.
And I'm smoking the Rove. Well, I'll say I'm vaping the Rove. This one is
Fruit punch.
Fruit Punch. He remembers better than I am.
I know what his vape is.
And this one's Cherry Cola for the streets.
No, it's not. It's Jack Hare. Because I put the cartridge in there that I gave you.
What happened to my Cherry Cola one's gone?
The cherry cola one's been gone for like 2 weeks.
What? Well, I haven't known what this is for 2 weeks, everybody. Don't tell anybody else. This is our secret, internet.
Did you tell us not cherry cola?
I guess not.
Please don't edit that out.
I don't think I'm doing editing. I think I'm just gonna roll and upload.
Well, at least this one. This is not a weed one, but this is Cherry Cola. I know this one's Cherry Cola for a fact because it says Cherry Cola right on it. Everybody, fuck what they're saying. Doesn't matter if it's nicotine. It's helping.
That's a good one.
It's helping me out right now. At least I know this one for a fact.
It's cherry cola.
As far as vape goes, I'm doing my usual, the one marshmallow.
This one I've had forever by Mary Dream. It is Mary Dream. That's like the Island.
Is that Lost Mary, right?
Yeah.
And for weed drinks, I got me an orange pineapple.
Okay.
Cheers, everybody. Let's get
Cheers.
stoned.
We don't have those yet.
And for plushes, I have Michelangelo
You got a
holding
Michelangelo holding a pizza.
a mushroom, pepperoni pizza.
Michelle loves mushrooms, so I had to put them on her pizza.
I hate mushrooms. Hate.
Unless it's mushroom, well, no, I can't even say that.
Yeah, that's his stuff.
Can't even say that.
Yeah.
The Hello Brothers.
Hello, brother.
Trying to think what other news comic book wise.
Oh wait. There you
So,
go.
they were filming Superman up in Cleveland.
The Jellyfish Cop story.
Oh yeah, see,
Oh yeah.
You're supposed to remind me, Josh. Damn.
And I'm the only one who remembered.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
Okay, hold
Because
on.
weed soda helps your memory.
I put a note in my phone. Go down. Hold on. Okay, Mr. Jellyfish Cop. Okay. 4/29/24. Mr. Jellyfish Cop, 20% THC and DB and cigarette. Okay. So we were at the beach. This cop walks up to the window. All right, yeah. So
Just tell the story. If you want, I'll tell the story. You're wild.
Okay.
Because I'm like, you're telling off your phone like you're about to do a Drake freestyle.
don't mess it up.
It is DB, right?
Yeah, DB. Don't forget
Yeah.
he asked for a cigarette.
All right, so yeah, we're all at the beach. We literally just pulled in, and we just finished smoking too. Like we didn't have anything lit at the time. Like we just finished as we pulled in, and this guy walks literally the whole length of the fucking beach to come to where we are, and goes, "Hey, smelled you guys all the way down the beach. Can I get a cigarette?" And he was talking about, "Oh yeah, I smoke too. Like I got some weed in the car. It's got this, that. It's got DB," and he's just literally making up things like, and he's got this thing on his chest, like a big necklace that looks like it would have like a recording device on the other side of it. And just the way he's talking, he's just like, "Hey, you guys got a cigarette?" Like, "Oh yeah, like I smoke all the time, but I don't have any weed on me. It's obviously in my truck." Like, blah blah blah. Like, he's just being super weird. And then when he realizes that none of us are gonna smoke with him, or like obviously we could tell that there's something off about him, he realizes that, walks away, and then comes back for one last ditch effort and goes, "Hey, did you see the jellyfish down there? You guys like jellyfish?" And then we're just like, "Yeah, whatever." And then we just fucking, after that, we're just like, "All right, man, yeah, we're actually about to leave." And then we just fucking pull off after that. Because we're like, we are not trying to talk to this guy a third time.
But apparently he thought maybe we were going to get out of the car and look at the jellyfish with him.
Yeah. And he was trying to look in people's cigarette containers to see if they had loose joints and stuff like that. You could tell that he was just being extra sketchy. And even when he came to the car, he acted like he was going to walk by the car, looked at the license plate, and then literally like almost ran up to the window to ask us questions because he seen the window was open.
Because he did the whole walk behind, look at the rear of the car, then walk up. And Erica and I were immediately like, yeah,
That's just sus.
Yeah, literally everything about him was just the most suspect ever. And he thought it was just funny because he thought he was so slick. Like, he had this necklace that was literally the kind of oversized, where I was like, either this guy's in the Italian mafia or that's a listening device. Like, it was like a huge, like, fake, like emerald type thing. But I was like, that just seems like that would have a recording device or something. But he didn't even look like the kind of guy that would be into that kind of jewelry. It just seemed like, I'm like, and that's the only jewelry you got on right now. You just got this giant, obnoxious necklace. It just seemed weird. Like, like you can normally tell people's vibe, like when they pull up, I'm like, something's just off about this.
Yeah. And it's happened to Erica and I so many times.
Yeah, but after that, we all just decided, yeah, we're just going to get out of here. And every time we talk about him or we talk about going to that beach, we're just like, let's go to Jellyfish Cop Beach.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That beach, we've got some stories from that beach.
Yeah.
We've seen like romantic like encounters. Once we saw like a couple swimming there at dusk in the fog. Like, we've seen people do some crazy
Yeah, my favorite one was there was this couple there, and it was this young black dude who was faded as fuck, and he was the one who was driving.
Yeah.
And when he hops out of the car, I think he's gonna be with somebody his age. He hops out of the car with somebody literally like twice his age. But they don't look like the couple that you would imagine when I say this. Like, you're like, oh yeah, like he's a young black dude. It's like the oldest white lady you've ever seen. And like, you're like, oh, maybe like they're just really good friends somehow, like whatever. And then she starts rubbing all on him and shit. And like, I'm like, yo, I don't think that they just friends. Like, I think that old lady's definitely take like fucking like it just seems so weird. Like, and I just never seen like a odd couple like that before. It just was one of those times where I was just like, you guys shouldn't be out in public. Like, you shouldn't be showing people that because that's just weirding everybody out right now.
I know. And it's just, and they were just dancing, and you
Like-
never know what you're gonna see at Little Harbor Beach. You just never know what you're gonna see.
And I was just sitting there making mad jokes. Like, I was just like,
Eric and I were dying.
I was just sitting there saying wild things like, you know, that she has to get her some black dick now because she couldn't do it back in her day when slavery was cool.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Yeah, I was just going off. There was a lot of other ones, but we're not going to get into all those because the internet will be like, this is wildly racial. No. But, yeah. That was we had some wild times at that beach, but yeah, that Superman thing that you were talking about. You said the commercial dropped? Because I haven't even seen that.
What is it?
Did you say the commercial for it dropped?
No, they were filming in Cleveland for the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were actually filming. They're
I've
turning.
just seen wild photos that have been dropped, and it's kind of just been tweaking me out because they don't seem good at all. The ones I've seen. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of the leaked photos, but like, first one I seen was the actor who plays Superman when he's like dressed as Clark Kent. And either his hair's done really weird or like it's a wig, but like he just got really like it's supposed to be like the comic book Clark Kent, like the really fucked up curly hair or whatever, but it just looks so weird. And then they got Green Lantern in the bowl cut. Like, everybody just seems like they have kind of a weird style. I feel like James Gunn's going to find a way to make it look cool. But just from the way he dropped the photos, I just feel like he may have purposely made it look goofy, but it just looks like it's like kind of wild right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, they're like, oh, they're filming in Cleveland. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So eventually, they're going to be turning, I guess, from what they're doing, they're turning Cleveland into Metropolis. Like, it'll be all done probably in post. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. I might go check it out. I don't know. It depends on the trailer. The trailer's got to look good for me to go.
Yeah, I honestly probably won't see it in theaters. There's very few movies that I really go to theaters to see. Just it's like I just feel like I can wait. Everything just comes out so quick nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I feel about that. But I do feel like it is probably going to be really good just because James Gunn has killed it with most of his other movies. I even like his darker movies like Brightburn, if you've ever seen that.
I haven't seen Brightburn. I know enough of it. I know it's
just about like evil Superman.
Superman, yeah.
But I also like that a lot just because it's a whole different take on the character. Mm-hmm. And you get to act because you always like, oh yeah, that'd be wild if he did that. You're like, oh, this is literally like if he was completely unhinged. But yeah, so just because he's done good with his other movies, I think that James Gunn will do good with it. But just the set photos that have leaked, it just looks like they look so bad where I'm like, he's trying to make this look like it's bad, but it's so people like start to doubt him. So when it actually does come out, so people, you know, like if your expectations get too high, then it can't be good because your expectations are too high. I think he purposely put out bad photos so people will be like, oh, it's not going to be good. So when it is good, people will be like, oh shit, that was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to be doing a lot of things in post.
Yeah.
To make it look good.
And another thing that like I kind of feel is weird that it's a Superman movie, but it's got like not every Justice League member, but it's got a lot of people in it. Like, it's got Metamorpho, it's got Green Lantern, Hawkwoman, it's got a couple other people. I was just like, this just sounds like too many heroes for this to be a solo movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they could have even still named it Superman, but I feel like it should have had like a Superman, like, and friends or and something, or like some kind of thing that would make it like, so you get that it's not just a solo Superman movie. Because once you get to like this many characters coming in, unless they come in at the very end of the movie, because that could happen too, because we know that they're in the movie, but we don't know how long they're in the movie. It could be him like getting his ass kicked the whole movie, saying, I'm Superman, I don't accept help, then getting fucked up so many times and being like, all right, give me some help. I'm going to need the Lantern Corps. I'm going to need some friends. I can't do this. Like, they already fucked me up. They hit me with fucking kryptonite. They spit in my face. They made fun of my mother. I'm tired of this. They fucked up the farm. I'm tired of this. I'm going to need some super friends. That's what I think is going to maybe happen. That they won't really actually, like, it'll just be them talking about it, but Superman will think that he's kind of too good, or that he has all the responsibility on his shoulders, because a big person that gets compared to is Atlas for holding the world on his shoulders.
Yeah.
So it's just that kind of idea that he feels the responsibility is just his, that he has to do it alone because he's standing for justice, and that he is the only one strong enough to do it.
Kind of in the same universe, but not quite. You seen the trailer for Joker 2?
Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing that in theaters. I thought that the first one, no matter what people say about the poeticness and stuff, you can't even call it any kind of superhero anything. That's my first complaint about it. And I get that you're trying to be dark, but it was like even too dark for me. Like things like him having to smother his own mother with a pillow. I'm like, you lost me.
I do love the turtle, though. I don't want to make it sound that I don't love it. It does hit like a dad.
All right, can we talk about this though? We'll talk about smoking later on. You're wild.
Like such a dark movie.
Well, no, but we're just on movies in general.
What, the Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the reason why. And the scene when what he did to the little dude when he fucking beat the dude with the hammer and then made the little dude watch. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, it was good acting and shit, and it was definitely wild, but it was like one of those times where I was just like, and like I said, it just didn't feel, it feels like they tried to make like a Silence of the Lambs movie, but like with the Joker character is what it felt like. Like they tried to make like a weird, like he's like completely unhinged, like he like not things the Joker does. Like the laugh is different.
It's a different.
The makeup
Joker.
is different,
and that's where I was
the
like,
way he like kills people and fights is different. He doesn't have any of the joking kind of like laughing weapons. It's like, nah, he's using actual hammers. He's like actually beating people to death. It's like pretty fucking gruesome. That's the reason why I'm like, I don't really think the second, like, even if I watch it, I'm not gonna have any expectations for it, and that is if I even watch it.
I mean, I'm curious. Yeah, I thought I enjoyed the Joker. I did.
Damn. Yeah, there's a lot of people that did, though. A lot of people thought it was like poetic and shit like that.
But to me, it wasn't really poetic. It was just a different take on the Joker. Like it kind of felt like Joker in a way where he's just this unhinged character. You don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's how I always felt about the Joker. Is just you really don't know what he has up his sleeve.
Yeah. The only thing that I can say that was good about it is that the whole time the story is getting told by his perspective, and then at the end you find out like a lot of the story was made up because he is an insane person. So his view doesn't really matter because it's not what's happening. He's a crazy person. You can't go off of what his story is. Like the whole story, he felt like he was flirting with that black girl and you realize the whole time she's just been really weirded out by him, and like she doesn't really like him at all, and she's been really creeped out about his like weird jokes about death and killing people and like just doing weird shit. She's actually been like, what the fuck? So like you get to see kind of more of what the actual truth is at the end of the movie. Like that was very like Shutter Island type feeling to it, and I did like that, where like you get to find out like, oh, that wasn't the truth, this is the actual truth. So that was cool. But that was the only good thing I can say about the entire movie, really.
I mean, we're gonna see the Harley Quinn Joker dynamic in the second movie.
Yeah. But even that, I think, is going to be way different, and it seems like they're going to try to add a lot of musical things just because it's Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn.
And that's where my Joker 2 is going to be different. It's
yeah, Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn in this movie.
Back it up.
Why?
I don't fucking know. Like I said, I think they're going to add a lot of musical scenes to it.
Yeah, this is like Joker 2 is going to kind of be more of a musical than
what they're gonna try to do is they're gonna try to make it like some Shakespearean, like one of those kind of things where it's like super, everything about it's gonna be poetic. The music, everything's gonna be some kind of next level. They're trying to like do one of those kind of like even if it doesn't get received now, it'll be like one of those movies that people talk about way in the future just because how different it was and just because all the different crazy shit they're gonna do with it. But like I said, I still wouldn't go to theaters to see that just because I already got the vibe from the first one that I don't know if I like this universe. I would have to wait till it was out on something and I could just like watch it easy. I wouldn't like spend real money to like watch that, I feel like.
Trying to process this.
And I can tell you're like, wait, what's going on? Wait, what, huh?
If you want, I could show you the commercial later so you can know what it looks like.
Because as far as I know, there was only one Harley Quinn.
But this is not in the main universe at all.
Oh, okay.
So
this
I think
matter.
This is in the Batman universe.
Okay. Whew.
I think this is the
a universe that she hasn't even watched and that universe I honestly think is, if you ask me, he's the worst Batman that's ever existed.
The Batman universe is a much darker universe.
Okay, you scared me for a
Yeah, everything about it.
Okay, so this is just a whole separate. This
yeah,
matter.
It doesn't really matter.
This is not the James Gunn DCU universe.
Yeah,
this is the universe that the Robert Pattinson's Batman.
What did you think of that movie?
The Batman? It wasn't bad. It was better than I thought it was.
I don't know. I felt like everything from the actor to just like the whole story of it just seemed almost like something that we've all seen before. Like if you like put Batman in The Sopranos is what it seemed like. And then like added like a serial killer inside of that storyline. Like it just seemed like those three things just like mashed up into a movie.
It was different. It was, like I said, it was darker. The tone was just a darker tone,
but no, and I didn't like that he was mad depressed the whole time. Like he's like, I get that he's supposed to have that depressed kind of feeling, but he wasn't even able to be a playboy. Like his whole thing's like playboy, billionaire, philanthropist. Like that's like for both him and Tony Stark. Couldn't even kiss Catwoman the whole movie. The whole time they just like acted like they were gonna kiss, and then I don't think they even kissed once. Which I was like, I guess like that seems kind of corny to me that you can't kiss the old school Batman came through stunning on his ex-girlfriend with 2 women on his arm. This guy can't kiss one chick that he's always in love with in the comic books. I'm like, that's the one chick you're allowed to kiss. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like that didn't make no sense to me. And I was like, you're not a playboy at all.
I forget they did announce the new Batman movie. I forget what it's called. I'm curious. Like I said, I'm for it. Like I'm interested to see where they go with this universe.
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles.
That's who everybody's fan casting as Batman.
That's
Because on Supernatural, he does that voice when he gets really angry when he's about to kill demons.
to do it.
Yeah, and he also has been asking for it, but it's because if you ask me, it's because he's known for that voice when he like gets really pissed and he comes in with the machete and he's like, "All right, time to kill all these." What does he always say? Fucking time to kill all these ass hats. And he like puts on that deep voice, that deep Batman voice.
And in my opinion, I think he could kill it. I think we should give him a shot.
Yeah.
I think he could kill it.
You'd have to dye his hair black. I don't like when they. It's even worse because I don't care when they change the race of somebody, but if you have like somebody who's supposed to be like have black hair and then they go blonde, I'm automatically like this one can't be the best one. Like when they did that with James Bond, they changed James Bond to somebody with brown hair. Like it used to be somebody with brown hair and brown eyes, and then they changed it to a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy. Made it look like somebody Hitler would. But when they first announced the Robert Pattinson Batman, what I was hoping they were going to do, since he already played a Batman, or he played a vampire for years, I was hoping that he was going to be Vampire Batman from the comic books. I don't know if you've ever heard that storyline.
I know Batman's been a part of a lot of different things.
Yeah, but it's not even Bruce Wayne. What's it called? That it's like a whole different alternate version. They're all different. Like Superman, like the whole universe is way darker. Batman is part vampire, and like Superman's more into his Kryptonian heritage, so he's like way darker and shit like that. Like the whole universe is just way darker. But just the fact that he is a vampire, it's Batman with superpowers. So that would have just alone would have sold me. Batman already has been able to do things like take down Superman without any powers at all. Batman having superpowers, I'm automatically sold. And it was a guy who was known for playing a vampire for years, so him just like multiverse and being a vampire, I would have been so sold on that. And then they were like, nah, he's just going to play regular Batman. I was like, I guess. Batman without powers as a shitty actor plays him. I'm like, all right, this is going to be an awful movie. And I felt it was. I did like the Bat car, though. The Bat car being a muscle car, them like fucking going fast and furious with the muscle car. That was hardcore as fuck. And when he took that weird Bane serum shit and started fucking kicking ass at them, that was dope. Only two things I really liked about it.
Because it's been... When did that come out? 21?
I couldn't even tell you at this point, but I think it was like 3 years ago.
So this has been a while. Wasn't the Flying Graysons in there?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Because, yeah, that's how...
And there's just so many good Batman movies out there. Putting that on the list, it would just be so hard. Like, I know there's a lot of complaints about the old school Batman and Robin movie, the one where Batman was played by
George Clooney?
George Clooney, yeah, by George Clooney. The George Clooney one, I know that there's a lot of stupid things in it, like him having a Bat credit card and things like that. Things that are obviously corny, but those were so comical at the time. And like from going off the one when it had James West, I feel like that made a lot of sense for that Batman at that time. Because James West had like shark repellent and things like that. Batman also is supposed to be kind of comical if you're going for that kind of version. I feel like that one made a lot of sense. And he had a lot of cool, fun, goofy things like ice skates that you just clicked his feet like fucking it was Wizard of Oz. Acted like it was Wizard of Oz, clicked his heels like 3 times and then ice skates come out. That's hilarious. Like just having ice skates on a superhero for any reason. I'm like, why don't you just get a suit that can fly like Iron Man? Like, nah, fuck flying. I'm ice skating this shit. I'm like, I guess. That just seems insane.
Yeah, Batman 66 was so damn campy. So campy.
No, but by the time of the end of it, though, the fact that they all came together with the different Bat vehicles, you can't tell me that wasn't one of the greatest movies in and still today, one of my favorite superhero history, like moments in history. I even would put it up there with like Avengers Endgame when they do all the circles. I still get that almost that same feeling because like it starts off at first, none of them are even connecting at all. He's like, "Fuck you, Robin," whatever. The bad girl's like not even allowed into it because they don't really know her. Like she's a newcomer or whatever. But then by the end, they all come together with the 3 bat vehicles and they all look badass. They got all the gadgets on it. It's like, oh, these guys are fucked now. They're coming through with the whole bat gang.
I guess for me it's because I'm a Batman. Batman's one of my favorite DC characters.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like a Batman movie comes out, I will go watch it.
Yeah.
You know, because Batman has always been more of a darker. Because he's essentially an anti-hero.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Josh.
What?
Guess who my favorite superhero is?
Well, I know for a while there was Groot.
No, superhero.
Still, that's still considered a superhero. Anybody on the Guardians is still considered a superhero.
Yeah.
Ooh, I had no idea.
I'll give you a clue. It's one of the most cliche ones. And it's the most popular one. One of the most popular ones.
And he's in DC.
Superman? Yeah.
And she said that she only likes side characters. She goes, yeah. And when it comes, I asked her about superheroes, like when we first got together, and I was like, so, like, who's your favorite one? Do you have a favorite one? She goes, yeah, I like superheroes, but I only like the side characters. And I was like, what do you mean? And she literally couldn't even explain it. She said she only liked the side characters, couldn't explain it at all. Then once we got through like a couple, like 3 DC movies, she was like, hey, I really like the Superman character. I'm like, well, yeah, that's a side character.
Yeah.
Yeah, the side character that's like the main person in all the movies. Literally every power you can almost ever imagine. Yeah, that side character. That side character that's literally like tossing buildings at people.
Superman just never.
He
wasn't my
kryptonite
type of superhero as a kid. Like I didn't like
Superman until Smallville. And then once Smallville ended, I didn't like him again until they did the Man of Steel. Then once the Man of Steel came out, I kind of was sold. I really liked the Henry Cavill version of Superman. I felt like he just played like the perfect part of it, of him saving like the sailors and like all that kind of shit. Like I just felt like it was just a good story. And him having to fight all the Kryptonians with them having all that badass technology, and I just felt like once I seen that, and I even liked the way that they planned is like when he takes off and he starts to like fly normal, and then he starts to fly fast, you can hear like the supersonic like boom, and you can like see the air change to show that he's going way faster and everything. Like it was just such a good visual to show super speed and super flying and doing all that. It just really showed his powers off good, I felt like. Even from when he was a child and he was trying to like, oh, my ears hurt. Like I felt like they just did a good storyline with his whole life. They like went through all the Smallville stuff like in one movie. And Smallville I already liked a lot, so it was like seeing a Smallville movie.
Yeah. Man of Steel wasn't bad. The movie I think that got crapped on a lot was Superman Returns, and I liked Superman Returns.
What movie was it we watched?
Yeah, I did too.
What movie was it you watched with me and I was like, I have to know Superman's backstory?
Yeah, before we really got into any of the... Oh, yeah, it was Man of Steel. We watched Man of Steel, and since it skips from him being a kid to, like being an adult, it literally goes from, like, him saving, like, the bus of kids or whatever, and she was like, I want to know about him more when he was a kid. And that's how we started watching Smallville.
Yep.
Which is so weird. Normally people are like, I want to see him fight all the aliens and do all that. She goes, what was he doing on the farm? Like, that was the most random question I've ever been asked. Like, I was just
and you're like, the good thing is they did a series about this, and then you go and start watching.
Yeah, which all of it, which I honestly, at that very moment, I realized how good the show was, because I didn't even think there was that big of a market. I didn't think there would even be people asking about that. I thought it was just like made, and they were just like, hopefully this sells. Apparently, there's a whole market of people that just hear about Superman and they go, what was he doing on this farm? Right. How much hay can he lift? Is he good on a tractor? Like, they want to know these questions. They want to see him on this farm. Can he ride a horse? I want to know. Like, Christopher Reeves got tossed. Can this one ride a horse? Like, they got mad questions about this farm. Like, they don't want to know about space. They don't want to see him destroy a bunch of fucking planets. They don't want to see him fight the most strongest villains ever. They don't want to see him go at Mach speed. They don't want to see him, like, just do any of that cool stuff. They're like, nah, I really want to know what it was like when he was at prom. Like, what were him and Lana doing?
Yeah. And don't forget Chloe and Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big DC guy, but yeah, for me it was Batman. I was more Marvel.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, X-Men.
I'm more now, besides Superman, I'm Marvel. That's the thing.
Nah, she still likes like Wonder Woman and the Flash.
Yeah, but I like my Marvel.
But it's easier to like Marvel just because there's so many. There's just so many characters. They have like twice as many characters.
Yeah.
And their characters are meant to be fun and lovable. DC has some things that obviously you're not supposed to like because how dark it is. You're not supposed to like see like Bruce Wayne's parents get killed and be like, yo, I fucking loved it. I want to see him die. I'm repeating that. I'm restarting this so I can see him get shot again. Fuck that. I love the pain in his eyes.
Yeah, obviously. Oh my god, baby. It's meant to be relatable, you know, for some people. You know.
What was the next superhero thing? There was something. Oh yeah, you said you did see the new Captain America trailer?
Yeah.
So what did you think about it?
I'll probably watch it. Probably won't see it in theater, but I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll see it in theater. Them having Red Hulk in it, and the fact that they might be fighting Sentry, that will definitely have me sold if that's the thing that they end up doing. Just because Sentry's pretty much like almost just like Superman. So if it's Captain America and Hulk fighting a Superman character, I'm sold. I'm gonna be sold if that's the case. Like, I haven't seen the second commercial yet, but I've just heard that they're going to end up fighting Sentry, and that's going to be a huge battle. That's going to destroy, like, a fucking huge area. That's going to be fucking insane.
Now we're to a point where I don't know much of this story going in. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of the characters you have to, like, you have to be really nerding out to know these newer characters.
I don't know anything about these guys. Like,
but he's pretty much just like darker version of Superman. He has an alter ego that is literally evil, so it could be them fighting his alter ego, which is called the Void, just like Dark Superman, kind of whatever. But yeah, that's his character. So, but all you need to know is that it's like seeing Superman fight Red Hulk and Captain America, or Falcon Captain America, whatever you want to call him.
Is Red Hulk a good thing or a bad thing?
He's like an anti-hero. They can do whatever they want with him, so I also like that a lot. They can because he's like the Hulk, so he's got a very short temper. So even when he is friends with the Hulk, they still fight all the time just because they're both the two angriest people in Marvel. So they always are fighting at all times, and they can both take the punches because they're both Hulks. So they just kick the shit out of each other unprovoked all the time. So it's just going to be like them literally being friends, hanging out, like they got to fight the villains, whatever. And then they might start fighting themselves just because they literally get angry so easy.
That must make a lot of ruckus.
Yeah, they fuck up entire continents. They destroy mountains. They fuck up mad things. But it's I always think it's hilarious because the Red Hulk is the one who's normally the one who starts it because he also heats up when he gets angry. So like it's almost like he has like instead of brass knuckles, like fire fist. So he hits harder because it's like fire when he hits you because he gets really hot. And sometimes he even breathes fire like comically and stuff like that. Like say if he eats like a hot chili pepper, like make him breathe fire, like whatever. Like they try to like sometimes they'll be comical when he breathes fire and stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
But just Hulk fights in general, I love them, and the fact that sounds like they're trying to do more of those, have more Superman character. They're gonna end up stealing a lot of shit from DC because that's what they ended up doing in comic books. Yeah. So when you start seeing characters like that are almost complete ripoffs, like Moon Knight being a ripoff of Batman and things like that, you're like, he even has a grappling hook. Like, yeah, he even has a grappling hook. Same kind of cape to fly, like the same kind of just design and shit. It's gonna happen a lot more in Marvel. But definitely excited to see Harrison Ford play the president. I think that's gonna just be cool in general, especially like if we have the president is gonna be like a Hulk. That's gonna be hilarious. President Red Hulk. That's just gonna be a funny storyline. And I thought it was crazy that that commercial came out 2 days before the incident with Trump, and in the commercial, the president gets shot at. So the president gets shot at in the commercial, and then 2 days later, it happened in real life.
I didn't put two and two together on that.
Yeah, literally right after that commercial dropped, it happened in real life. He really did get shot at. So I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me that this happens in real life right after they dropped the commercial? That's literally like...
Wait, what?
First, the commercial for Captain America came out, right?
Yeah.
And inside of it, Harrison Ford gets shot at and he's the president. So there's an assassination attempt. Assassination attempt. And then it happened to Trump a couple days later. The same exact thing.
Damn.
Like either they predicted it like The Simpsons or it was planned and on The Boys, the same kind of thing ends up happening at some point in the show. So I don't know. There's just a lot of conspiracy theories on that.
Yes.
Right now.
And
I forgot he didn't even see the season 4 of The Boys. I'm like spoiling things for him. I'm like, no.
I knew about it. Like I knew about it because people like were.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been literally 2 different shows that they both were filmed and came out before, literally right before it happened in real life.
Did The Simpsons predict it too?
Probably. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like one of those things where
The Simpsons predict things. I mean, that's not, I'm not saying anything out of turn. They predicted a lot of things.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of weird things about that, and that just trips me out because I'm a conspiracy theorist, so shit like that just freaks me out. But
do you want to pull up the commercial, Josh?
Okay, I don't think we have much time left. I don't know if you want to do all that right now.
I'm going to say we can pull it up on the next podcast or whatever. I do gotta wrap this up because I do got stuff like that.
I'm about to say we're almost at 2 hours. We got to get through this pretty quick. Yeah, but Anti and Red Hulk just have the shield and fucking slam it through the ground. I just think that's hilarious because that's like him now becoming the Captain America. He's so proud of the shield. It's supposed to be a symbol for justice and peace, and like it's supposed to be like one of the top weapons and most respected weapons. He just literally whips into the ground like you can't use that anymore because he can't go over, knock the Hulk down, and pick it up. Like, first of all, it's gonna be impossible to pull out of the ground because the Hulk just whipped that into the ground. Second of all, you're not pushing him over because he's a fucking Hulk. Like, there's nothing I can even do. Like, I'm pretty much useless now.
Yeah, you take away the shield, you take away. I mean, he's got his wings, but that's about it.
Yeah, but vibranium, also in the, like, not the trailer, but the picture that they showed to, like, promote the movie, it's the Hulk with one hand crushing the shield, the sides of the shield getting crushed, which in live action, we've never really seen somebody with their bare hands be able to do it. Thanos did chip it down with that big-ass sword thing that he had. but nobody with their bare hands has crushed it. But in the picture, it's literally him crushing it with his bare hands. And I heard they're supposed to be trying to get adamantium in this movie, so they're trying to get to the next level of strong weapons in the Marvel Universe. Because they have the rights to all the different metals now, because they have the rights to X-Men.
Wow.
So
I think they're going to be trying to get him a stronger shield and stronger armor, is what I think. And then, like, the vibranium will just be, like, the outline for it. So, like, because the vibranium you can bend in more ways. Adamantium isn't really a flexible metal because how strong it is. But it's going to be like a mix of the two metals.
Yeah, just look at Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm just assuming the entire shield's going to get destroyed. And probably the wings and everything. At least the first set. And then, because I heard that he is supposed to get another suit. And I'm like, if he just got this dope suit from Wakanda, there'd be no reason to get a new one unless it gets broken. So that just seemed like easy math for me to be like, all right, so you need a new suit that's better. Like, and they're knowing about adamantium. That's obviously got to be what it is. And I'm assuming that they're going to put them together because adamantium by itself is cool, but you can't really make it make it retractable or make it so it can extend over your whole body. You can't put it into nanotechnology because how strong it is. Can't be broken down like that, really. But with vibranium together, I think it could be. Like, I think they'll end up mixing them somehow.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm curious on this next phase of Marvel. Like, I don't know much about it. I'm kind of here for the ride to see where they go with it.
Yeah.
You know. Anything else you want to hit comic book wise?
I think we've covered a lot today.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good podcast.
And I knew going in this is going to be a mostly like comic book centric episode, so centric or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm gonna try to, like I said, we'll touch on probably the boys next week, or if you get Chelle to kind of binge it.
Yeah, we might end up watching it tonight. I'm not sure.
Get her kind of get sped up on it so we can kind of get into it.
You have to catch her early in the day with it because she doesn't like to watch it before bed because it's so dark. She doesn't want to have nightmares about people getting their heads crushed and evil Superman.
Dude, I fall asleep to it sometimes. I'll start binging
I just
next
think
thing you know, it's like
because,
2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'll start falling. I'll watch this later. So
yeah, I think just men are just different in that way. We're just like, who really cares?
yeah.
It's just violence.
Yeah. So, all right, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We're going on, holy crap, an hour 45. But yeah, we will definitely be back next week with another episode. But again, thank you everybody for tuning in, joining us on this very comic book related one. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it along. We greatly appreciate that. Those on Spotify, make sure you follow us. You know, we do it new episodes every Wednesday, 7 p.m. So, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this episode. I'm Josh.
I'm Chelle.
I'm Alex.
Awesome.
Let's crack this mess express.
And we'll catch you next week, guys. Have a good one.
Signing off.
Bye.